Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is chapter 22 of Cute Little Love Letters, and this one is titled Letter Exchange. It was kind of Sarah's idea, but I thought it was a good idea at the time, but I didn't consider how she might feel, or how anyone might have felt being caught in a jar, Denki said sadly. I only thought about it afterwards. But what did you do with her? Kiri asked, pulling to a stop once they had entered the kitchen. I took her to my room and I made sure everything was locked or closed so that she couldn't get out, and then I undid the lid of the jar and I told her to reveal herself. She did try and make a run for it, but I stopped her, and then all of a sudden she just, poof, turned from this cute little flying thing into herself, and I was in shock and I really didn't say much, but I'm super happy. But then she ran out of my room and I feel bad, so I then went to her room and then I got her a flower or two, and I wanted to apologise, but Kendo was there and she told me off, and Yin looked sad, and now I think I've ruined everything, Denki said, saying everything all in one go. Kiri just stood there and stared at Denki for the longest time, trying to process everything that had been said, and then he shook his head. Wow, bro, that's wild, he said. I just don't know what to do. Is she mad at me? Does she not like me anymore? Denki asked, more so asking himself than anyone else. Bro, Kiri suddenly said, what if you wrote her an apology letter and put it in her locker? Hey, that's a great idea, Denki said brightly. Yeah, I'll apologise and ask if we can still be friends. Yeah, let's start with that. Oh, so manly, Kiri said passionately. Thanks, bro, Denki said happily. I'll go now. Enjoy your dinner. Thanks, bro, and good luck with your letter, Kiri called as Denki jogged out of the room. You messaged your parents that night, telling them about school but not telling them about Denki, and then did a little bit of study and then flopped into bed. It had been a very big day. The next morning you were met by Kendo knocking on your door. Hey, good morning, Yin, she called from the other side of the door. I'm here to walk you to school today so you don't have to worry about bumping into Kaminari, she said. You smiled as you walked to the door to open it for you. Thank you so much, Kendo. I really appreciate it, you said gratefully. He's such a jerk. I won't have him treating you like that, and if he even so much as tries to talk to you today, he'll have me to answer to, she said firmly. You smiled apologetically. It's okay, Itsuka. I really don't think he's that kind of person. I think he feels really badly about what happened, you said. Well, I'll still be here for you, Kendo said with a firm nod. You ready? Let's go. And so off to school you went, side by side with your acting big sis, Kendo. It was busy at school, but oddly you didn't see Denki once. You didn't know what you would have said to him if you'd seen him. Now that things were a little bit awkward, you didn't like that. Maybe I should seek him out and talk things out, you thought throughout the day. I'll think about what I want to say and then I'll find him, maybe later this week. It was now at the end of the day and Kendo had been by your side constantly. She was so protective of you and you really appreciated that. You'd never had a bodyguard before, but you really liked how she looked out for you. Suika, honestly, you chuckled as she scoured the entire locker room before letting you enter. It's safe, she announced proudly, walking back over to you to accompany you to your locker. No hidden boys waiting to catch you in a jar. Seriously. You giggled a little. She was really riled on your behalf. I think you well and truly scared him off. He won't come near me again, you said with a bit of a sad look on your face. Do you think that maybe you were a little too harsh? No, not at all. I don't think so, she said confidently. That was mean and he knows it. Well, he's kept away today, that's for sure, you said as you pulled your locker open and looked in. There, on top of your shoes, was a folded note, and you looked at it for a second before reaching in to pull it out. What's this? You asked as you opened it. You started reading the letter and then realised it was from Denki and quickly tried to hide it, but Kendo had seen. Hey, is that a letter? Was that in your locker? Is that from Kaminari? She pressed. Is he apologising? I don't know. I haven't read it properly, you said as you put it in your pocket. I'll read it and I'll tell you about it later, you promised. Okay, she said dubiously, wishing you would show it to her and let her read it, but also knowing it was supposed to be a private letter, and she didn't want to be too nosy. Feeling a little excited now, you walked back to the dorms with her and said goodbye, and then went to your room so you could read your note in private. Quickly closing your door behind you, you dropped your bag and then ran over to your bed and then jumped up onto it, sitting cross-legged in the middle of it so you could focus on what you were doing. Slowly you pulled the note from your pocket and unfolded it. Dear Yin, it started. I'm really sorry about how I caught you in a jar. That was very mean of me, and I understand if you don't like me anymore because of that. I just want you to know I still really like you, and I hope that I can apologize to you in person someday, without Kendo going crazy on me. You had to admit you cracked a smile at that line. Thank you for all your little letters in my locker. I hope this one makes you smile, like I smiled when I got yours. Sincerely, Denki. It finished. You smiled down at the handwritten letter and sighed. Oh, he's trying, you thought. Feeling like you should reply in kind, you looked up to your desk where you had your book and pen laying there and got up from your bed. I'll write him one back, you thought as you got up and went to sit at your desk. That next morning you put the letter in Denki's locker early so that he would have time to read it during the day, and you were surprised to find another letter in your locker that same afternoon. Oh, that was quick, you thought. You were still looking at the closed-over paper when Kendo approached you from behind. Yin, she sung. You still haven't told me about the letter that Denki put in your locker yet. Is that another one? She gasped when she saw you holding another folded paper. Yes, it is, you replied a little sheepishly. I wrote him one this morning and he's already written another one, you said. Don't you guys have phones? She chuckled. Message him. Actually, I do have a phone now, you said with excitement. But I don't have his number, you added sadly. You don't have mine either. Let me give you my number, she said, pulling her phone from her pocket. And tell me what you two have been talking about. He's being really nice about the whole locker and jar thing. He apologized again. Suika, I promise he's nice, you said with a pleading smile at her. She eyed you. She held her phone out to you. I don't quite trust him, but I also don't want to get in your way, she said, wiggling her phone at you. You looked down at it. Suika, I'm sorry, I don't know how to put numbers into phones. Can you help me? You asked. Denki had better be good with phones. If he's going to hang with you, he can teach you things, Kendo said as she pulled her phone back to herself and opened it to new contacts to put your information in and then message you. In your letter to Denki, you had accepted his apology and told him that you still liked him and that you did want to be his friend, but you were just shy and you appreciated his patience with you, and he had replied that he was happy that you weren't mad at him. Could we maybe meet on the school roof tomorrow at lunchtime? He asked in his letter. I want to ask you something. I'll be waiting there at 12 p.m. 12 p.m? You thought, your stomach filling with butterflies. What's he going to ask me? What indeed? That is the question. Stay tuned for chapter 23 coming tomorrow. I'll see you then.